Hello everyone, Daisy here again with a layout for the Learning is an Adventure YouTube hop. This is a hop that was put on by Sarah from Sarah's Scraps, and there are a bunch of scrappy YouTubers and ladies participating in this, and there will be links down below. So I started out by creating this just school title. And this is just a simple font that's on my computer. I don't remember off the top of my head which one, but it's one, that comes loaded in your computer. So I cut it out using my Silhouette Cameo. And now I'm just looking for a paper to back it. I am going to be scrapping the photos of my kids from last year, from the first day of school. And yeah, I'm just trying to decide. I wasn't sure. I kind of wanted to use some of the Chamel paper, but that I felt like the pattern was too big, so I end up with this Maggie Holmes black and white checker, which I love, and I have been hoarding, and I have really been focusing on getting through using some of the things that I hoard in my stash, including papers like this. So I'm just adhering that to the back and trimming it down a little bit. And I really like how that looks. I'm going to put the centers of the O's in, and then I'm just using my black pen to outline around the outside of the letters just to give it another kind of layer and make them stand out a little bit. So I'm going to apologize if you can hear the thunder in the background. You probably can't, but I can hear it really loud. It has been like thunderstorming here for almost 3 days now, and it never fails. Every time I go to start doing this voiceover, it just is like super loud thunder. So I feel like it's at the end of it, so maybe you won't hear any of it. Fingers crossed. And also my house is creaking like crazy. Yeah, it's been pretty bad. So anyhow, I finished outlining those, adhered down the centers of the O, and now I trimmed out my photos. And these I just print at home on my HP, I don't know, just HP printer. And so they all seem to print at this size, which I don't know what size it is. But I'm going to outline the outside of my layout here, and that's kind of something I do while I'm trying to work out in my head what I want to do next. So I was trying to decide what colors I wanted to go with and kind of what design I wanted to use, and so I decided to stick kind of with the black and white, and then I'm going to pull in some of this kind of orangish color. So I used a bag from, it's like a glassine bag or a paper bag from Jelly Bean Soup, and it's black and white, and I put that behind the photos. And then I really wanted to use that September because that's when our school starts, is September. It's usually the day after Labor Day that it starts, or at least for the last couple of years it has been. So I wanted to get that on there, and then I wanted to use some of this paper. So this is another one I have been hoarding, and this is from the Crate Paper Cool Kid collection, and yeah, I don't know, I love it so much. So but since I have discovered American Crafts Digital, I feel a lot better about using a lot of my 12 by 12 papers, because if I am really missing this piece of paper and want to use it again, I can go purchase it and print it out at home. So if you haven't heard of that, that's always an option for, I think almost all American Crafts lines are on there, or most of them anyway. So, and that includes crepe paper and pink paisley. So I decided to use that alphabet strip there, and I am going to cover some of it up, but you still know it's the alphabet. So I ran out of fun foam, and I have not been to Walmart again, so I have been using cardboard because that's the only thing I have for like dimensional kind of adhesive, and I just use my ATG and stick it down. So I popped that whole like photo bag cluster up on some cardboard. Now I'm just working out where I want these cards. I was thinking about using that B as part of my title, which is going to be back to school. I don't think that actually ends up making it on. I really should pull the layout out, but because I think it just ends up being too big, so I think I don't end up getting that in. But I wanted to use that map and that ruler, and I'm just trimming the orange off of this September calendar because it wasn't quite the right orange to match with the bee, and if I was going to layer them up like that, I was afraid that it would look a little strange. So I'm just kind of trimming everything down. I'm tucking, I want a little cluster kind of coming out of that bag at the top above the photos there, so I'm just trimming them down and then tucking them in, but I think that all moves anyway. I was not struggling because this layout actually comes together pretty quickly, but you know, there was certain things that I wanted to use, and getting them on where it was a lot harder than I was anticipating. So I really wanted that Ready Set Go on there, so I trimmed that down so that it covers up that B, so I have that orange element and that Ready Set Go, because my kids are never ready to go back to school. They just, it's not that they don't like school, but you know, it's not as fun as summer is, right? So I like the placement of my photos, and they're all a little bit wonky, and I put the whole cluster kind of at a tilt as well. And so I'm kind of adhering things down, and you see me popping certain things up, and like for this map, I'm gonna pop just the top half of it up, and that allows me to tuck it in underneath that alphabet strip, but also gives it some dimension, and I like the shadows that it creates. So that's kind of a little tip if you're looking for some dimension but you don't want everything popped up. You just add it where you want the dimension, right? I tucked that little ruler in. I really liked that, and then putting in this calendar, which I struggled with because, you know, it didn't dawn on me to cut part of it off. I mean, it's not going to show anyway, right? So, yeah, just getting that stuck down. I was thinking about using that fox card, but I don't think that ends up on there. I didn't like that little gap there, so I'm trying to find something else to stick in there. And so I have that little notebook. And I'm going to finish my title, which is going to be back to school, and I'm going to play around with my positioning here, but I end up putting it over the map. Excuse me. It actually doesn't look bad up there, but at the time I didn't like it. Thought I'd break it up some more, but then with the other words I felt like it was too far apart. So here I'm just using this other piece of paper to put my letters on straight, because I wanted them to be straight even though everything else is a little crooked. And then this is where this ends up. And these letter stickers are from Felicity Jane from my Christmas collection from, I want to say, 2016, 2015. I'm not sure, something like that. And then I wanted to use these same letters to put the year, but they're a little too big, so I don't end up using those, even though I press them down really well. I was thinking they could come out of the bag up there, but that doesn't stay there either. And then I think I just pulled out some sequins, and these are from Spiegel Mom Scraps, and I'm going to add a few of them around. I don't think they're ones that are available in the shop anymore. I think they're called Sparkly Ever After or something along those lines. And I don't think they're in the shop, but I have to use up some of my stash of sequins. So I pulled out those pink fresh letters, and those are actually navy blue, but you can't really tell, so I just filled in that 2018 kind of in the L there, and then I'm just sticking down some sequins. And I think that might be it. I thought I put something up in that bag. I'm kind of disappointed if I didn't do that, but anyhow, like I said, this is a YouTube hop, and there will be links down below to all of the other talented ladies that are participating. I'm not even going to try to list them because there are quite a few hopping along with us, so definitely want to click around to the links and check out what everybody created. Back to school is always a fun time for, you know, to make layouts for. And I love making them of my kids, and we always do one photo of them serious and then one photo of them silly, and they hold up their fingers to show what grade they are in. And yeah, I really like how that is. So I'm just adding some black splatters with some acrylic paint that I watered down, and then that's going to be the end of my layout. So thank you so much for watching, and again, don't forget to hop around to the other ladies participating, and I will see you again next time. Bye!